So let's talk about Stadia. Stadia is Google's all new gaming platform. So far, what they told us today, they kind of got me concerned. It's promising for everybody else, but really got me concerned about the gaming industry as a whole, because this is something that the gaming industry has been talking about as lately. You've been talking about Google has upcoming devices that's going to be doing this. You've been talking about next PlayStation may have the ability to do this. So far, Xbox is showing it with the Xbox SAD edition, which is the Xbox One S, all digital edition. So it's kind of concerning me as a gamer who freaking loves buying physical games. So that being said, let's talk about Google Stadia. So right off the bat, Google announces that this is going to be like some kind of service, like streaming, some service like streaming platform. So with this being in mind, they already have their own controller prep for it, and they already told us how it's going to work. It's still kind of confusing to me because there's some points that they're not really clear on. It seems like they were just trying to tell us about the tech and everything, but they weren't really telling us how it's going to work. So if you thought that Stadia was going to be a console, well, you're right, it is a console, but it's not one that you can just go out and buy. It's basically a server that Google has already put together. I'm not going to go into tech speak because that means I got to grab my iPad and look it up, which is currently dead, so I'm not going to go into that. Just to let you know, teraflops, 10 teraflops, bam. That's all you're going to get from me from the tech side. So that should give you a decent idea of what you're working with here. The service is going to be able to do games at 1080p to 8K, 120 frames per second. And personally, I find that useless because A, the human eye can only see 90 frames. B, I don't think the internet that's going to require to run this service is going to be available to us this year, because they plan to launch this thing this year. And let's face it, the features that they did announce for this all seems cool and everything. So like, okay, one of the features that they did talk about is how, like, with YouTubers, you can actually join in while you watch that game. You can actually watch a part of the game and jump in from that part of that game that you just watched. That right there seems cool and all. And they said you can also join your favorite streamers on stream. All you gotta do is say, hey, look, there's gonna be a little prompt that says play now, hit it, bam, you're in the game. Game comes up at 5 seconds or so. They said download speeds are going to be a thing of the past. They're looking to not sell a box, but they are going to sell you a controller, which is pretty optional if you don't have like a PlayStation or Xbox, or heck, even with the Switch Pro controller. There you go. They already have options for you available, and I already thought that was kind of cool that I don't have to. But the question is, how much is the service going to cost? They didn't really tell us about the games, how much the service is going to cost. They only just told us about the platform itself. And here's my concerns with this all. This is not an ideal way for me to play video games. I don't know about you. I don't know about the guy next to you. Or I don't know about the guy who is next to that guy. But this is not an ideal way to play video games, for me at least. I mean, this is my opinion, because when you have something, well, like the Switch, you would think that, hey, look, that may not be, reasonable. Because I honestly think that it's more a waste of time than the fact that, hey, I gotta find the internet speed. I gotta really upgrade my internet speed to get these games running and for this to run flawlessly, because here they're talking about some serious tech in the server and everything. They already gotten people like Ubisoft and software on board. They already showed off Doom Eternal They had it playable on the floor. If you can check out some of those videos, I think GameSpot got some gameplay of Doom Eternal. They also have Assassin's Creed already on it and everything. They're already showing those games off, but they already announced that, hey, Stadia Studios is being a first party company for the Google Stadia home market and everything. It's just, I just can't really fathom what's going on with this whole stream service. It's really is confusing, and the fact that this thing launched this year makes it all the more concerning. Again, this is a streaming service that's supposed to be doing all these amazing things: 8K graphics, 120 FPS at a reasonable speed of internet. There's a reason why games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Biohazard 7 for the Switch haven't came over to the US market. The reason why? Because we don't have the reasonable internet speed to run the cloud-based gaming. There's a reason why things like PS Now wasn't so hot back then. And it's concerning because we don't have the speed so far. Well, I don't know how things are going to change with 5G coming up soon, so that may play a factor into it or not. But the fact is, they're trying to get us to pay. They're trying to get us to get into the service, which is all about streaming your games more than buying like physical games and stuff like that. They're not even a console. They took so many shots at Sony and Microsoft for having a box. That they're trying to push for you not buying a box and trying to have you on their service. The most hardware you might buy from them is like a Chromebook, or it might be on any type of laptop that can run Google Chrome, or a Chrome Drive, or something like that, or Pixel. A phone, it's either or. It's stuff that you already should have. So when the service comes out, you'll be already prompt for it. But the thing is, do you find this ideal for you to play video games, man? I personally fear the future of all digital and streaming distribution in video games. Like, I do like this stuff, like you can just click on the stream and play the games with the gamers. It's something kind of like an upgrade to Mixer. I think Mixer does this. Any Xbox fans who use Mixer, please let me know if I'm wrong. But anywho, well, this whole thing with Stadia, it's a whole mixed bag for a lot of people. It left a lot of people confused. The people who was trying it out at GDC has came back and said, hey, look, it's actually kind of stable. It's actually kind of good. So that's kind of a good thing for the future. But personally, I don't really like this at all. Mostly because it's basically a digital distribution. The only time I buy anything digital is when it's like, that is digital. Like it's only digital, and that's the only way I can get it. Like when Sonic Mania first came out, I couldn't really buy it physical, and I'm pissed off because now I gotta buy now I can buy the collector's edition, but but like when Sonic Mania came out, it was only available digital. Or like my favorite game on the Switch right now, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, that's all digital. No, and I have to play it digitally there. But I'd rather own my games than stream my games, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I think that the Google Stadia won't be as sustainable, because we gotta realize people gotta find the best internet connection, the best speeds, and all this stuff just to get this stuff to run. So if you don't have that stuff when it's time this thing come out, you might as well stick to your regular gaming console or Steam, if you will. So that's just my opinion on Stadia. Again, will I give it a try? I'll be honest with you. I would give Stadia a try if it was a console. If it was a console, then I'll give it a try. If it was like something like the Steam box or the Amazon gaming console, I would give it a try. But because it's not, and it's looking more like a service, and the console itself is basically a server, I just can't not get into this. So anywho, for people who are into this, have fun. It's your way to play games. More power to you. But for me, I'm staying out of it. Again, Switch is my ideal play anywhere, anytime system, and personally, I got too much looking forward to in the future to even pay attention to Stadia. So anywho, it's your boy Kahuna Silver, signing out. Deuces.